The SmartDitch HDPE ditch and channel lining system was specifically designed and engineered for both the rehabilitation of degraded concrete lined ditches, failed earthen ditches, and poorly performing high-maintenance riprap lined ditches. SmartDitch should also be considered your first choice for new ditch construction that requires a liner for better flow and erosion control or improved slope stabilization. SmartDitch comes in 2 shapes and 3 sizes. Trapezoidal, which is our most popular design, in 12-inch and 24-inch depths, and a 24-inch semicircular shape, commonly used for above-ground installations, and is a temporary water diversion device. For very large channel lining applications, the MegaDitch system was developed as an expandable ditch liner and can be constructed to virtually any size and depth channel. What separates the SmartDitch line of products from other ditch lining methods is its speed and ease of installation. This video will focus on the SmartDitch installation procedures. It covers ditch preparation, suitable soil types, joint installation, proper joint assembly, anchoring and securing techniques, and finally, backfilling and tamping. If you follow these simple steps, we are confident your SmartDitch lining system will install quickly and perform properly. SmartDitch will be delivered to your location on pallets. Visually inspect the liners for any damage that may have occurred during shipment. Ensure that all hardware components are also present prior to accepting a load. These items will typically be packaged in boxes underneath the ditch parts or on a separate pallet. If the hardware components are missing, the load should be rejected. Please be sure to specify a flatbed truck or enclosed trailer as delivery choice for the location capabilities for unloading. Become familiar with the contents of the assembly kit, which includes sealing gaskets, anchors with cables, self-tapping coated corrosion-resistant screws, cable grippers, washers, and an installation sheet that must be read thoroughly before you begin the installation. Make sure you have the following tools after excavation: a battery-operated handheld drill, 1/2-inch drill bit, heavy-duty pliers, 2 vice gripping tools, a number 3 square or Phillips head screwdriver, a 3/4-inch electric-powered hammer drill, and a 1/2-inch diameter by 32-inch long driving rod for anchor installation. Soils need to be able to be excavated and remain unsupported with a cross-section that mirrors the cross-section of the SmartDitch, which is designed to a 1-to-1 side slope. Suitable soils include stiff clays, silt, dense silty or clay-like sands, and angular gravels. Non-suitable soils include soft clays and loose sand. If these are your conditions, they need to be removed and replaced with a suitable soil fill. You can stabilize non-suitable soil with quicklime or fly ash. If the ditch bottom is soft, it can be stabilized with sandy gravel or crushed stone compacted to 90% density. Please call SmartDitch Engineering if you have any further questions. To ensure the safest work environment, always wear steel-toed boots, a hard hat, work gloves, and safety glasses. If you are on or near a high-traffic area, safety vests are also encouraged. If you are relining an existing concrete lined channel, it is important that all debris and loose, broken concrete be removed. However, it is not necessary for you to fill the voids created from the removed concrete. SmartDitch's patented rib design provides the strength and rigidity that helps maintain its shape when covering voids. Whenever possible, the soil should be excavated as close to profile or shape of the SmartDitch liner. We realize that this cannot always be achieved, especially in rocky terrain. Unstable soil should be removed and replaced with compacted soil fill. It is the responsibility of the local design firm to determine the soil type. Excavation can be accomplished with either a small backhoe or one with a modified bucket to simulate the shape of the SmartDitch, like this one shown for large-scale SmartDitch installations, or with picks and shovels for short sectional ditch repairs. It is important to note that over-excavating will require more backfilling once the installation is complete. Ideally, you should limit backfill to 4 to 6 inches along the sides of the SmartDitch. The excavated ditch should be as firm and smooth as possible, with no sags or clumps of dirt to complicate installation. The subgrade should be free of debris, rocks, and sharp objects. Tree roots should be either trimmed or removed. The ditch's slope should be at least 0.5%, which is the minimal grade to ensure proper drainage and self-cleaning velocity. Place SmartDitch sections end-to-end along the ditch bank. We recommend connecting no more than 3 sections at a time prior to inserting them into the prepared trench. Place the supplied sealing gasket on the inside of the last upstream channel groove. Once the gasket is secure, nest the upstream section over the downstream section. This practice is just like shingling a roof. Place a vice gripping tool on each side of the joined sections to firmly hold them in place. Using your drill, firmly secure the coated self-tapping screws through both nested liners at the dimples visible on the sides of the overlapped ribs. Each overlapping 12-inch channel section requires 5 screws for proper assembly. The 24-inch channel requires 7, and 24-inch semicircular uses 5. Visually inspect the sections to ensure the fastener screws have securely joined the sections. Place SmartDitch sections in the ditch and ensure the sections fit as snugly as possible. Prior to installing the supplied cable anchors, you will need to pre-drill half-inch holes through the top of the overlap joints at both ends, and also drill at a mid-length point between each section. These holes are where you will thread each anchoring cable. If assembling a 12-inch trapezoidal channel, you will drill out the preformed dimples between the ribs. For the 24-inch trapezoidal channel, drill out the preformed dimples on top of the ribs. For the 24-inch semicircular channel, the pilot holes are drilled at the top of the channel. Place your driving rod into the anchor and place the anchor on the ground. Angle the point of the anchor perpendicular to the sidewall of the SmartDitch channel. Once in position, using either a sledgehammer or a hammer drill, drive the rod to the required depth. When the anchor is driven to the required length, a minimum of 30 inches is suggested. Thread the cable through the drilled holes. Slide the washer over the cable, and then the anchor cable lock. Note that the narrow end slides on first. The cable lock should seat itself against the washer. Using your pliers, rip the cable and press the cable lock down into the base of the pre-drilled hole until the anchor is taut. Trim excess cable, but leave 6 inches to allow for adjustments to be made at a later date. Repeat the process for all sections. SmartDitch can be installed on a curve by assembling 3 sections on the ground. Lowering the beginning of the 3 sections into the trench, connecting and anchoring to the last installed section. The 3 sections should be lowered into the curved trench with the remaining anchors installed. It may be necessary to cut out the upper knuckle at the midpoint of each section to provide more curve flexibility, as directed by Penta Engineering. The 12-inch channel can be installed to a minimum 10-foot radius of curvature, measured to the inside of the curve at the outside channel edge. The 24-inch channel can be installed to a minimum 75-foot radius of curvature, measured to the inside of the curve at the outside channel edge. Backfilling is the most important part of a SmartDitch installation. Lateral flow or runoff should never undermine the ditch. Therefore, it is important to use the appropriate backfill material. Refer to the SmartDitch technical manual for examples. In some cases, a 3-foot heavy gauge flat sheet may be suggested to prevent undermining. Contact SmartDitch Engineering for help to determine the best materials and methods for your project. While every SmartDitch installation is unique, if you follow these simple steps and use good construction practices, your installation will be a success. If you know that you are facing a difficult installation scenario, we encourage you to call your local SmartDitch sales representative or consult with a SmartDitch engineer prior to the beginning of the project. Call this number on the screen. Listen to your menu options, and you will be connected to one of our experienced, field-trained engineers to help you troubleshoot your project concerns.